guys, welcome back to Wixfix. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do this really cool sticky section in Editor X. And before we get started, I do want to mention a couple things. Firstly, if you are new around here, please press that little red subscribe button because it helps the channel. We are on the road to our first 10,000 subscribers, so it would really help. And secondly, if you need any sort of help with your website, whether it is just with web design or you need help setting something up, be sure to click the link in the description to join the Wixfix community Facebook group. Now that that's out of the way, we can go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So as you can see, we have Editor X pulled up. And to set this up, I'm just gonna go ahead and add a couple sections. Basically, I'm just adding these sections because I wanna show what it looks like on a scroll. The next thing I want to do is just add images to the top and bottom one so we can tell the difference. So I'm just gonna add an image here, stretch it, and then just do the same thing for the bottom one. Now what we're gonna be working on is this second one right here. And in fact, I'm actually gonna open up the inspector. I'm gonna set the minimum height to 100 viewport height, so 100 VH. And basically what that means is this section is gonna take 100% of my screen, no matter what device I am on. So I could be on a smaller laptop, I could be on a tablet, I could be on a phone, and this section is going to take up 100% of the screen. And the next thing I want to do is go ahead and apply a grid to this section. So we're going to go ahead and press apply grid, and we're going to do the 1x2. The next thing I want to do is adjust the grid. So we'll click adjust grid, edit grid. Okay, after we press adjust grid, this little view is going to pop up, and I kind of just want to set values to this. So this top one right here, I'm gonna go ahead and set this one to be about 200 pixels tall, just like that. Let's make it 300, just like that. And then for this bottom one, we're gonna set it to be about 1500 pixels tall. Okay, and then this is what we're gonna see, just like that. And then we can go ahead and press done. Okay, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and add a container box to both this bottom part of the grid and then the top. So we'll go ahead and copy and paste this in. We'll make this a little smaller, bring it up to this top one and press stretch. And we'll press stretch for this bottom one as well. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the inspector panel, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to border and remove the border. And I'm gonna do that for this top one as well. And for this top one, we're also gonna come over to fill, and we're gonna raise it up to 100%. Now with this top one selected, we're gonna apply a grid, and we're gonna press 2x1. So now it's split into two. Over here on the left side, I kind of just want to add a title and a paragraph. We'll go ahead and select both of them and press stack. Then we'll center it up into this section, just like that. Okay, next what I want to do is go ahead and grab this bottom container. We're going to apply a grid, and we're going to choose 3x1. So now we're going to notice that there are 3 sections. And what I want to do is go ahead and line this up, the edge of this container up with this text. So what I want to do is with this container selected, we're going to come over to inspector. We're going to come down to padding. We're going to add 100 pixels to both the right and the left side of this section. And then what I want to do is go ahead and add a gap in between these different grid sections. So we're going to go to adjust grid, edit grid, and then right here, we're going to go ahead and click this and then put in 30 pixels. Now you're going to see in between each of these grid items, there is 30 pixels of spacing. Okay, next thing we need to do is start building out our elements in the grid. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to put this in a grid. We're going to set this to be 100%, and we're going to make sure it's centered within the grid, just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the design tab. We're going to choose the background color to be something dark. We'll just choose this one. We're going to remove the border. And then for the edges, to add a little styling to it, we're going to add 16 pixels to round the edges. So that way it looks like this. Now what I want to do is go ahead and just add a title and a paragraph to this box that we have here. And then we obviously need to make these white. So we're going to come over here, press edit text, change the color. We'll do the same thing for the paragraph. Then we'll go ahead and select both of them and press stack. Now we can kind of just position these where we want. So it looks like that. And the cool thing about stacks is we can add padding to them. So if we come over to layout and we select padding, let's add like 20 pixels of padding. And then if we select this little lock icon, it's going to add 20 pixels of padding to all the sides. Then let's go ahead and come up to the align area and align it to the center. So this is going to be our container. So now what we kind of want to do is go ahead and come down to the inspector, go down to scroll effect, and we're going to select sticky. Now, if we look at this top offset, this is going to tell us where it's going to stop scrolling on. So what we want to do is have this top section to stop scrolling. And then we want this section to stop scrolling when it gets right underneath this section. So let's go ahead and set that up. To start, let's go ahead and select this top container. We'll scroll down to scroll effects in the inspector panel, and we'll select sticky. And we're going to leave the top offset at 0 pixels. Now when we preview the site, that section is going to stay there while we scroll. And then once we reach the end of the section, it'll start scrolling up. But now what we need to do is have this container stop scrolling at a certain point as well. So we're going to select it as sticky, and we're going to set a top offset of maybe 35 vertical height. And this part is a little bit guess and check a little bit. So if we scroll down, we're going to see it stops right there. But we can also see that the top is kind of cut off a little bit. So if we come back in here, then we can maybe set the top offset to 40 VH. We can press preview, and it's going to look like that. Now it doesn't look like it scrolls very much, and that's because I didn't put this container box very far down. But now that we have it built correctly, we can go ahead and bring it down quite a bit. And then we can go ahead and copy and paste it. And then we'll bring this one over here to the left, but maybe we will bring it down farther. And then we'll copy and paste it again. And we'll bring this one over here to the left, something like that. So now when we preview the site and we scroll down, this is what it's going to look like. But now, as you can see, right as this one reaches the final destination, it's already moving the rest of them up. So what we want to do is add some more space underneath this one. So what we need to do is select this, then we'll go to section and adjust grid. And what we need to do is make this one longer. So maybe we make this one 2000 pixels, and that's going to give us a lot more room to play with. In fact, let's go ahead and bring this down a little bit more. That way this item and this item don't come up at roughly the same time. And then now when we preview the site, these come up at different times, and it still takes a while for these to start moving up. But now what you might be noticing is that these elements are pushed up right up against this next section. And what we want to do is add a little bit of space. So we're going to grab this section, we're going to come to the breadcrumbs and press section, and then we're going to come down to padding, and at the bottom we're going to add 100 pixels of padding. So now when we preview the site, this is what it's going to look like. And that basically wraps it up for the video. If you guys did like it and you want to do this for your website, be sure to press that like button. Also, if you haven't already, I'm giving you guys another chance to go ahead and subscribe if you liked the video. We make a lot of more content just like this. And if you're struggling with recreating this for your own website, be sure to go to the WixFix community on Facebook. Link will be in the description for that. Thank you guys again, and I'll see y'all in the next one.